What's up, TikTok? This is your brother King Jabez, and in today's message, I want to say, prepare for rain. Position yourself to receive the blessings of God. There's a time of testing. There's a time of trial. There's a time of having lack. There's a time to be going through struggles. But I want you to know that there is a time to be blessed. There's a time to receive the good that you have sowed. When the scripture teaches you reap what you sow, people often think that it's something bad. But the truth is, reaping what you sow is also good. Some of you need to hear this. You've been faithful. You've been working hard. You have been controlling yourself in terms of your personal life. You have been in the scriptures. You have walked with God. You have not dishonored your maker. So when I talk to you today and tell you, prepare yourself. Your blessing is on the way. That breakthrough is on the way. That prayer you've been praying for 1 year, 2 years is on the way. So position yourself now by being grateful. Position yourself now by having a spirit of gratitude. The Bible says, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually come out of my mouth. So we position ourselves for blessings by also being a blessing to other people, by showing kindness. I want to remind you that it was Joseph showing kindness that positioned him to receive the favor from Pharaoh. Had Joseph had a mean spirit, listen to me, and not allow God to use him during a time of testing, he would have never been blessed. So during Joseph's time in prison, there were other persons who had dreams that troubled them. And so Joseph interpreted their dreams. And because he did this, when the time came, God was able to exalt him and put him before Pharaoh. So if you want to be blessed, often your blessings come by you proving that you can be faithful when you're going through. So this is just a short word for encouragement for all those who follow my content. Prepare yourself, for rain is on the way. Iron in the soul. What's up, YouTube? This is Iron and Soul. Back today with another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about my content. In addition to that, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at @KingJabez. It will be greatly appreciated. Well, man, let's do some work. Let's talk about it today. Very important and powerful message that I've entitled Wisdom, War, Wealth, Worship, Women. Wisdom, War, Wealth, Worship, Women. Let's do some work. I think most of you guys follow my content, other men online, for various reasons: to get encouragement, to get motivation, to help you, give you guidance, to give you that strength and that talk from another man, to challenge you to level up. If you follow my content, 9 times out of 10, you want to level up, you want to grow, you want to break free from whatever it is you feel like as a man that's holding you back from reaching your full potential. And I believe if you follow this 5-point process, this will lead you to the next level, right? In the year 2023, this is your time to press and to push our power to get to the next level. I think all my messages so far the last week or two have led up to this point. It's time to put some teeth into this. We need wisdom. We need to have a warrior spirit that leads to wealth. We have to worship the Most High God. And this, of course, at the right time, bring that right quality woman into our lives. Wisdom is defined as having this quality of judgment, experience, and knowledge. So it's quality knowledge. It's the ability to put knowledge into practice. This was the prayer of King Solomon. King Solomon asked for a discerning heart to know right from wrong. Wisdom is gained through reading, reflection, study. I had the opportunity to go into college and gaining this formal education over the course of 4 years. But there is a wisdom that comes from real life experience. And so I'm here to say that we need both. Not that you need to go to college, it's not the point, but there needs to be time and concentrated study. But there also has to be time spent in real life application. So when we study and we read, we reflect, you listen to videos like this, you're doing your own research, you sharpen your mind, right? You feed your mind. You have a mental diet just like you have a physical diet. So you have to feed your mind through books, through quality talks and podcasts, through listening to other men, through mentorship, reflection, journaling, feeding your mind, feeding your spirit. And from that knowledge, you go to war. And this is the second part of this message. You go to war and you allow yourself to learn from real life experience. When you are wise and you have wisdom, This will manifest, first of all, in your speech. The way you communicate and carry yourself will show either a wisdom or a lack thereof. You will be seen by other people as someone who is wise or as someone who is a fool. And so your actions, the way you carry yourself around other men, the way you carry yourself around women, the way you spend your time, those 3 T's, your time, your talent, and treasures, are a direct reflection of your wisdom or lack thereof. How you spend your time, how you use your talents or your abilities, those native abilities I talked about that you guys watch one of my videos, and how you use your treasure or resources is a reflection of a wise man or a foolish man. And so I want to encourage you men who listen to me, to become wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And that leads to the second part of this talk, and that is that warrior spirit. We have to fight for our blessings. We have to fight for our breakthroughs. No one's going to give it to you at work. No one's going to give it to you in the business world. No one's going to give it to you in that weight room. If you are an athlete, no one's going to give you that progress. If you are a fighter or a boxer, so whatever it is you are as a man, if you're watching me, listen to this video, you're going to have to fight. Whether you're an athlete, if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be a businessman, if you want to be a lawyer, doctor, accountant, whatever it is you desire to do as a man to create wealth and a legacy for yourself, you will have to war and fight. One of my favorite characters is King David, and King David had to fight for 20 years, right? From about 16, 17 years of age to about 37 to truly experience his full inheritance. He was anointed to be a king at 17. At 30, he was king over one tribe, which is Judah. And at 37, he gained full control of Israel. So what does that tell you? It was about a 20-year process. So I want to encourage you guys to fight. You may have to fight for 6 months. You may have to fight for a year, 2 years, 5 years. So I want to encourage you to just wake up day by day. And what do we call this? We call this getting to the grind. That's what we're talking about. You got to stay on that grind. You have to stay motivated. You have to go to that gym when you don't see the results you want right away. You have to continue to eat that diet that doesn't taste as good as that diet that's not good for you. You have to continue to read and to reflect. You have to continue to control yourself in the area of your sexual appetite. This is all a part of that fighting and warrior spirit that society is fighting so hard against to make men weak and less effective. So when we talk about war, a part of war is being able to heal from your wounds. See, think about a wounded spirit. The Hebrew scripture teaches very clearly who can bear wounded spirit. So when you've been hurt deeply, as you will in warfare, as you will in relationships, as you will in the workforce, as you will if you go to the military, as you will if you lift weights, as you will if you're an athlete, as you will if you want to be successful and you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to enter into that top 10% of men who makes over $100,000 or more, you will face wounds. Mark my word. So a part of being a warrior is being able to heal from those wounds. Okay, you got to fight like a prize fighter. Think about a boxer. Think about Ali, Mike Tyson, men like this. They had to war and to fight to crawl to the top. Hours of training, hours of hard work, getting knocked out, getting knocked down, having black eyes. I mean, it was brutal warfare. And this is why they earned the title world champion. Okay, so we have to look at our lives as prize fighters. We are fighting, we are boxing for our lives. Okay, and in doing that as men, we're going to get hit. We're going to get some proverbial black eyes. We're going to get proverbially knocked down from time to time. Okay, you may lose a job. You may lose a woman. You may lose a car. You may lose a home. Losses are part of life. So as men collectively, we have to regain our strength, right? Didn't I just talk about that? We had to get that inner strength to tap into that to go to the next level. And a part of healing from your wounds is understanding it's okay to mourn. Okay, we put that out there. It's okay to cry from time to time. I know a lot of guys don't want to talk about that. It's okay to experience pain, to really let that out. It's okay to talk to a counselor. It's okay to talk to a mentor. I do consultation calls, by the way. It's okay to have someone you can confide in. So when I say war, this isn't a suggestion to war by yourself, because it can lead to tragedy. So you need wisdom to wage war. These two go hand in hand. So when you have the wisdom, you have the knowledge, the understanding, the guidance, the instruction, the facts, the data, whatever word you want to use. When you have all of the facts and you take what you do know and you try your best to put it into practice, you go to war. And then going to war, you're going to have some wins, you're going to have some losses. You're going to knock some people out, you're going to get knocked out. That's just the way it goes. Okay? You're going to have days when you are successful in your journey. You're going to have days when you're not successful in your journey. You're going to have days when you're feeling good, when you're happy, when you're joyful. And you're going to have days when you're depressed and you may even be suicidal. This is Iron and Soul. I'm going to give it to you all the way 1,000. This is how I come. This is how I'm coming on my channel. That's why I call myself Iron and Soul. This ain't the channel for game plan. So you're going to have your ups and downs. It's going to be like a seesaw, right? Remember Kobe Bryant talked about a seesaw series in the playoffs when it was like they won a game, lost a game, won a game, lost a game. You're going to have some of those type of series. Imagine a 7-game series in the playoffs and it goes to game 7, right? That means they had to battle day by day. This team won one game, the next team won the other game. This team won at home, that team won at home. And they look up, they find themselves in the game 7 tied 3-3 when they are fighting for their lives. And this is how it is in our lives sometimes. Just like Kobe talked about, we're going to have that seesaw of an experience. When we win some games, we lose some games. And games here is referring to days in your life, challenges, goals, trying to go forward, trying to prosper. And our ability to navigate through that as men, this is what makes us warriors, right? This is what makes us the type of men that people can respect. This is what makes us or qualifies us to be leaders, right? Is our ability to endure, our ability to prosper and to rise above adversity, right? As simple as that sounds, it's not easy to do. Let's talk about it. Let's be real here. Adversity can break the best of men. I don't care who you are. There are a lot of good men who were broken by adversity. So, we're not going to sit here and act like somehow guys who crack under the pressure are just these bad humans. There are some good guys who were crushed by the pressures of life. That can be you. That can be me. It can be anybody. So we're not here to judge anybody. We're here to try to give each other this level of shared strength, right? Encourage one another. In other words, iron sharpening iron. So with that being said, after the wisdom comes a war. Now, the third part of this, what you got to look forward to, is the wealth, right? If you are smart enough to gain the knowledge, the wisdom, over the course of, throw something out there for you to say, over the course of 1 to 5 years. Because honestly, to truly be wise, let's just be real about this, you're going to have to learn, study, reflect, be taught, be mentored, be encouraged, be challenged for 1 to 5 years. You do not gain wisdom in 6 months. You'll get some wisdom, don't get me wrong. You can get some wisdom in 1 day and in 1 hour from a talk. But to really let that really penetrate your soul and your mind and it becomes who you are, we're talking 1 to 5 years, some calendars. So off top, to lay that very first foundation of wisdom, we're talking time. And wasn't that part of the definition, by the way, too, in the beginning of this? Part of the definition of wisdom is experience, real life application. So when you gain that wisdom over the course of 1 to 5 years, you're now qualified to go to war, right? What do they do in the military? They have what's called what? Boot camp. So wisdom is kind of like the boot camp. The war is the real war. It's one thing for a guy to be in boot camp doing push-ups, doing pull-ups, being trained by a drill sergeant, being trained by a fellow soldier, a friend, being instructed, being taught how to use a gun, being taught how to, escape danger. That's all necessary. But when they're actually, let's say, for example, somewhere overseas in Iraq or Afghanistan and someone's shooting at them, that's a whole nother ballgame. That's a whole nother level of wisdom, what we call war. And so once you go to war as a man and you are successful, what do warriors get? They get what? Spoil, gold, oil, jewels, resources, women, right? This is what happened in ancient fights. When men took over a certain country or land, what did they take? They took the resources, they took the oil, the gold, the natural resources, the food, the crops. They took the women, right? The beauty, the ability to produce more children. These were all referred to as spoils of war. That can be very easily researched with a quick Google search. So how does it work for us? When we get wisdom, we go to war, we fight for our lives, we do what we got to do. Fight mean we I'm not talking about a physical fight, because some of you will hear that because you want to. But we're talking about, fighting in the office, meaning working 40, 60 hours a week, working on your business, in the gym, online with your computer, whatever it may be that you're going to war from your workplace perspective, right? Doing that, learning, gaining resources, building connections, having a network. That's so important. Being able to connect with other guys and to have that network, which can help you to increase your net worth. And so as you do that, and you begin to do what it says in Think and Grow Rich, and you begin to accumulate riches, okay, little by little, right? When you work hard, it grows little by little. So what you have right now may not be much to you in your mind, but if you keep on going, it will grow, right? It will grow. And that 20,000 can become 30,000. I'm going to break it down to you from the very bottom. And that 30,000 can become 40,000. And that 40 can become 50. That 50 can turn to 60. That 60 could turn to 75,000, where you're heading to the upper echelon in America. And that 75,000 through blood, sweat, and tears can turn to 100K. Now you're in that top 10%, right? And 100K can turn to 200K, 500,000, 1 million. You get my point here. But you got to start somewhere. So if you're right now, guys, you say you're trying to get your wealth, you say, I'm right there at the 20,000 range. That's okay. Start somewhere. Start somewhere. Because this is what I know. If you are a go-getter, if you train, you take the courses, you get the formal study, doesn't mean necessarily college, but you do something to gain some skills. If you do the work, that 20 will turn to 30 before you know it. That 30 will be 40. That 40 will be 50. That 50 will be 60. That 60 will be 100K. Start somewhere. Go to war. So you say, you know what, if you're not happy with 20, 30,000, guess what? You shouldn't be. Okay, that's a start. Now everyone starts somewhere. And you continue to progress. You continue to challenge yourself. You continue to become more profitable to an organization, to your own organization. If you start that, your own business, you learn how to make yourself indispensable as a man. So what I mean by that, indispensable, is a person who is really hard to replace. This is an individual that can do several things for an organization, for a business, for a company. And wherever I've had a job, I've seen people like that. There's always been men who will be very hard to replace. If that person's if they get rid of that person right now today, they would have to find somebody to cover like 10 jobs. That's the type of man you want to be. You want to be someone that when you go somewhere, you're able to do multiple things. And whether that be for an organization or a company or a business, or whether it be for your own life, your own business. Because some of you guys say, you know what, I don't want to work for anybody. Okay, great, that's fine. Learn those things for your own business, to build wealth at that perspective. So as you gain those resources, as you gain that wealth, with that privilege comes a great responsibility. With privilege comes responsibility. So once you begin to gain resources and increase your wealth, that's going to bring more attraction from women. Okay, so that's going to bring more temptations. That's going to bring more opportunities for you to go forward. That's going to bring jealousy from other men who may not have what you have. Okay, you got to be prepared for all this. Okay, there's a burden to everything. So once you gain those resources, be prepared for the other side of that. Now, why do you think they say in hip hop, more money, more problems? They mean that. When you have more money, people are trying to take your money. They're trying to sue you. They're trying to scam you. What's been going on a lot online, I'm sure you guys who have social media, you see this. Every time you look up, someone else is getting robbed. Okay? XXXTentacion, so many others, minding their own business, get shot, get robbed for some money. Same thing with PNB Rock. Okay, rest in peace. Minding his own business with his girlfriend, eat some chicken and waffles. Very basic, simple day. Turned into a murder scene. Because someone was jealous of the wealth and influence he had, and in their mind's eye, this belongs to me. So as you accumulate wealth or status or resources, understand there are people going to be watching you with hate, with jealousy, wanting to sabotage your work. Okay, there are people do that to my stuff now, try to sabotage what I got going on, reporting my channel, all type of weird stuff. Everyone does not want to see you prosper. So you have to be prepared for that. So this is all lessons you learn while you're at war. So let's review. You get the wisdom, you go to war, you gain the wealth. Number 4, from that wealth, it leads you to worship the Most High. This should lead to a worship of the Most High. When you get that spoil after the war, if you are a smart man, you will reflect and give glory to the Most High. Why is that? Because the Most High God is who gave you the strength in the first place. Let me talk to you. This is who put breath into your lungs in the first place. This is who gave you water to to give you nourishment for your body. This is who gave you food. This is who gave you the sun. This is who gave you your life. So the scripture is clear when it says, in him we live and breathe and have our being. So our very existence is because of the Most High. So when you go to war and you receive wealth, the natural response to that breakthrough is worship. Why is this so important? Because so many men go into a place of pride. I don't need God. I'm a God. Right? I'm not going to thank God. I work for this. I got this through my blood, sweat, and tears. And that's true. You did work. You did have blood, sweat, and tears. But understand that it was God who gave you the talents in the first place. Let me talk to you. It was God who probably gave you an idea in the first place, whether you know it or not. It was him who gave you the strength. It was him who gave you the resources. It was him who opened the doors. Let me talk to you. It was him who answered your prayers. So, as much work as we do, because we do have to put in the work, because God didn't forgive you nothing from nothing. Okay, so it's not how that works. It's a 1-2 punch. You work as if everything depends upon yourself, and then you pray as if everything depends upon God. You understand? So you do the work, but it is God who prospers that work. Understand that. And so when you understand that, the natural response is worship, adoration. I thank the Most High God for giving me another day on this earth, for putting breath into my lungs, for giving me the ability to see. I'm talking to you. For giving me the ability to hear, for giving me the mind to even have the idea in the first place, for giving me the opportunity. The opportunity can be given to someone else, but he gave it to me. For allowing me to be in a certain country, this certain position, this certain company. Understand that all good things come down from above, right? We need to understand that. We need to praise God from whom all blessings flow. And when you have that perspective, that keeps you humble, that keeps blessings coming your way. Pride cuts the blessings off. An arrogant man will stop being blessed eventually. Mark my word. A prideful man will eventually lose his blessings. Someone who is not acknowledging the grace of God will lose their throne. And this is exactly what happened to King Nebuchadnezzar in the days of Babylon. His pride and ego caused him to lose his power, and he was removed from his throne for a total of 7 years. So he spent 7 years struggling because of pride, because of Leviathan, that pride demon. That pride demon is hurting some of you men right now. That pride demon, Leviathan, is keeping some of you guys right now from prospering and moving forward. And if you are smart, you will stop that and begin to worship. And number 5, last but not least, the woman. Why do you say, Iron, why is woman number 5? That's simple. A woman is a gift from God. A woman comes as a reward for having wisdom, let me talk to you, for going to war, for accumulating wealth or resources, and for worshiping and acknowledging God. When you have wisdom, you go to war, you fight. 1 to 5 years. I'm just giving you a goal. You gain something. Okay, doesn't matter what it is, you start somewhere. We talked about that already. And you have a worship of, you acknowledge who God is. You are a godly man. In other words, you are a righteous man. You honor the Most High. You are, in my opinion, you're not qualified to have a woman. You ain't got to be rich. You don't have to be rich to have a woman. But if you have those 4 things going for you, I guarantee this, if you got wisdom going for yourself, you're warring, you're fighting every day, you have some level of wealth, and you have an acknowledgement of the Most High God, you, sir, are qualified to lead a woman. That's number 5. You now have the right to have pleasure with a woman. That's a right. The pleasure and love that comes from a woman is given to a man who has earned that right. And a man earns that right, I'm talking to you, by going to war. A man earns that right by working every day. Let me talk to you. A man earns that right by getting strong physically. Let me talk to you. Don't no woman with no weak men. So getting strong physically, going to work, learning something, having some knowledge and wisdom to give to women. Women love to learn from a man. Trust me. Women love to learn from a man. So having something to share with a woman, being able to teach her something about life and about God and about just culture in general, And so when you have all of that, that blessing of a woman comes to your life, and a woman brings favor. A woman brings enjoyment. I know some of you guys don't want to hear this because you got the wrong opinion of women. She brings you life, favor, assistance, pleasure, companionship, right? You become one. And so I think this 5-fold process can be very helpful for any man who hears this word. I want to encourage all of you men to gain wisdom, to go to war with that wisdom, to gain wealth from that war, and to worship the Most High, who has given you the wealth, the ability to war, and the wisdom in the first place. And from all of that, you get the gift and blessing of having a quality woman in your life. This is a talk from your brother Iron the Soul. I trust this will be a blessing and value to you. God bless. Stay strong. Peace.